You want the truth? Not the sugar-coated, feel-good advice you find on some dating blog, but the raw, cold, and honestly kind of brutal reality of why a woman who once threw you away suddenly decides to crawl back into your life. Let's talk about that silence. That deafening, gut-wrenching silence after she told you she didn't feel a spark, or she wasn't ready for a relationship. You felt like trash. You felt like you weren't enough. You spent nights staring at your phone, wondering what the hell that other guy had that you didn't. You were ghosted, rejected, and left to rot in your own thoughts while she went out and lived her best life. But then, months later, maybe even a year, your phone buzzes. Hey, how have you been? Or a random like on an old photo. It feels like a victory, doesn't it? You think she finally realized what she lost. But hold your horses, man, because before you start celebrating, you need to understand the dark psychology behind that ping. She didn't just wake up and realize you're a king. She's checking the temperature of her backup plan. She's circling back because the greener grass she jumped the fence for turned out to be spray-painted dirt. This isn't about love. It's about her ego, her security, and her need to see if you're still simping in the shadows, waiting for her scraps. Listen, if this hits home, if you've been through the ringer, and you're tired of being the guy who gets picked last, then hit that subscribe button right now. We don't do fluff here. We break down the masculine experience and the psychology of power so you never have to feel like a second choice again. Join the Brotherhood because we're diving deep into the trenches today. The moment you stopped chasing her was the moment you became a problem for her ego. See, when a woman rejects you, she puts you in a mental box labeled available if I'm bored. She expects you to stay there. She expects you to keep watching her stories, keep liking her posts, and maybe send a "hope you're doing well" text every few weeks just to remind her that she's still got that grip on you. But when you went ghost, when you took your energy back and put it into the gym, your career, and other women, you broke her internal map. Suddenly, the guy who was too nice or not exciting enough is looking like a high-value asset she can no longer control. Women are biologically wired to seek the best possible deal. It's hypergamy, plain and simple. When she rejected you, she thought her market value was higher than yours. She went out there thinking she could land a guy who's 10-10 in looks, status, and money. But the world is a cold place. She realized those top-tier guys treat her like an option, not a priority. Now she's looking back at you, the guy who actually gave a damn. And she's wondering if she can get that validation back. She's not coming back because she loves you. She's coming back because her ego is bruised, and she needs to know she's still got the keys to your heart. Let's get into the monkey branching phenomenon. It's a classic move. She didn't leave you for nothing. She left you because she thought she had a better branch to grab onto. But what happens when that branch breaks? What happens when the guy she chose over you turns out to be a total flake who won't commit? She's left hanging in midair, and suddenly, you look like a very sturdy place to land. This is where the nostalgia trap comes in. She'll start texting you about the good times or that one song that reminded me of you. It's a manipulation tactic designed to make you forget the disrespect of the rejection and focus on the dopamine of the reunion. She's counting on the fact that you're a good guy who will forgive and forget. She wants to see if you're still the same beta who's going to roll over and give her the attention she's starving for. If you respond too fast, if you show her that you're still hurt or still obsessed, she's won. She's got her validation, she knows you're still her safety net, and she'll probably disappear again in 2 weeks once her ego is refilled. The cold truth is that a woman's return is often a reflection of her own failure, not your success, unless you've actually leveled up. If you're the same guy she rejected, just with a little more desperation, she'll leave again. But if you've spent that time away building a goddamn empire, sharpening your mind, and becoming the man that other women are actually fighting over, then her coming back is an admission of her mistake. But here's the kicker. Why would a king want a queen who only realized his worth after everyone else rejected her? You've got to understand the propinquity effect and social proof. Maybe she saw you out with a girl who's hotter than her. Maybe she saw your LinkedIn update and realized you're making moves she can't ignore. Now you're not the guy who wasn't her type. You're the guy she can't afford to lose. It's a shift in power dynamics. She's trying to re-enter your life on your terms because she knows she fumbled the bag. but you need to be the one holding the cards. You need to recognize that her love is often conditional on your status and her lack of better options. If you don't play this right, if you don't maintain your frame, you're just inviting a Trojan horse back into your fortress. You need to analyze the breadcrumbing phase. This is when she's not quite ready to commit to coming back, but she wants to keep you on the hook. It's those late-night thinking of you texts or the random happy birthday when you haven't spoken in 8 months. It's a low-effort way for her to see if she still has access to your emotions. If you give her a paragraph in response to her 3 words, you lose. You've shown her that your price is still low. You've got to realize that for a woman, rejection is a tool. She used it to see how you'd react. If you reacted by becoming a better man, you've become a prize. But prizes don't just hand themselves out to people who threw them in the trash. You have to make her work for every inch of your attention. You have to make her realize that the version of you she rejected is dead and buried. The man standing in front of her now doesn't need her. He chooses whether or not she's even allowed in the room. This is about psychological dominance and self-respect. If you let her back in without a massive change in her behavior, you're telling the world that your respect can be bought with a simple, "I miss you" text. And that, my friend, is the fastest way to get rejected a second time. So, she sent the text. Your heart skipped a beat, didn't it? You felt that rush of, "I told you so." But stop right there, man. You need to understand the testing phase. When a woman returns after rejecting you, she isn't coming back with a white flag and an apology note. She's coming back with a set of invisible tests to see if you're still the same guy she could walk all over. She's checking to see if your new life is just a facade, or if you've actually grown a backbone. If you fold the second she smiles at you, you've just proved that her initial rejection of you was the right choice. She'll think, "Oh, he's still the same desperate guy. He just got a better haircut." The test is designed to see if she still holds the remote control to your emotions. If you show even a hint of, "Oh my God, I missed you so much," you've handed her the remote, and she'll turn you off the moment she gets bored again. You have to maintain your frame. Your frame is your reality. In your reality, you are the prize, and she is the one who has to audition for a role in your life again. If you don't make her work for it, she won't value it. It's basic human psychology. We don't value what we don't have to earn. Let's talk about the contrast effect. This is one of the biggest reasons they come crawling back. While you were away, she went out and sampled the market. She went on dates with the bad boys who ghosted her, the rich guys who treated her like a trophy, and the boring guys who had zero personality. After a few months of getting treated like an option by guys who actually are high value, she starts to experience a psychological crash. She starts comparing the way those guys treated her to the way you treated her. Suddenly, your consistency doesn't look boring anymore. It looks like a luxury. But here's the trap. She's not coming back because she values you. She's coming back because she's exhausted by everyone else. You are the emotional rebound. She's using your familiarity to heal the wounds she got from other men. If you let her in now, you're essentially becoming her therapist and her safety net while she waits for her market value to go back up so she can try to leave you again. Don't be the guy who fixes the woman so she can be ready for the next guy. That's a loser's game. If you're feeling this, make sure you're subscribed. We're building a community of men who refuse to be the backup plan. Don't miss the next deep dive. Hit that bell. Now consider the power of social proof. This is where it gets interesting. If she sees you on social media or hears through the grapevine that you're hanging out with other attractive women, her brain goes into a tailspin. This is called pre-selection. In a woman's mind, if other women want you, you must have hidden value that she was too blind to see. It's like a restaurant with a long line outside. Even if you weren't hungry, you suddenly want to know what's inside. When you were single and moping around, you were a closed shop with no customers. But the moment you have customers, other women, you become a hot commodity. Her return is often triggered by a primal, competitive urge to reclaim what was hers before someone else takes it. It's not love, it's possessiveness. She wants to know if she still has the exclusive rights to your attention. If you give her that exclusivity the moment she asks, the mystery is gone, the competition is over, and she'll lose interest faster than she found it. You also have to look at the biological clock. and the security pivot. For the guys in the 30-60 age range, this is huge. A woman in her 20s might reject a stable, good man because she wants the thrill and the chaos. But as she hits 30 or 35, her priorities shift overnight. She realizes that the chaos doesn't pay the bills or build a future. She looks back at the guy she rejected 5 years ago, the guy who was building his career, the guy who was reliable, and she realizes she made a massive tactical error. This is the epiphany phase. She's coming back because she's looking for a provider or a settle-down option. But ask yourself, where was she when you were struggling? Where was she when you were just starting out? She didn't want to be part of the build, but she wants to be part of the payout. If you take her back now, you're paying for a version of her that has already given her best years and her best energy to guys who didn't give a damn about her. You're getting the retired version of the party girl. Is that really what you want for your empire? There's also the hoovering tactic, often used by women with narcissistic tendencies. They suck you back in just to see if they can. It's a game of ego validation. They don't actually want a relationship. They just want to know that they still own you. They'll use faux vulnerability. They'll tell you how much they've struggled, how they've been thinking a lot about their mistakes, and how no one understands them like you do. It's a script, man. It's designed to trigger your hero complex. You want to save her. You want to be the one who finally makes her happy. But you can't fix a woman who uses her own brokenness as a tool to manipulate you. The moment you start saving her, she'll stop respecting you. A woman cannot truly love a man she doesn't respect, and she cannot respect a man who allows himself to be manipulated by a damsel in distress act that she's used on 5 other guys before you. The bottom line is this: her coming back is a negotiation of power. When she rejected you, she had 100% of the power. Now that she's reached out, the power has shifted to you. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to hand it back to her on a silver platter because you're lonely? Or are you going to hold on to it, continue your mission, and realize that the man you've become is far too valuable for a woman who already showed you she's willing to walk away when things aren't perfect? You are the architect of your own life. Don't let a revolving door woman mess up your blueprint.